Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Well, hello, friends. How are you? It is a Monday night. So glad you could join us wherever you may be. He's Blake from 760 WJR Mitch Album Show and Sports Rap. I'm just Sean. That's the way it is. I'm just Sean.
You're
Lots
more than
going
that
on
to me.
thank you, Poppy. Bruins and Panthers coming up in just a few minutes. Guardians have a 2-1 lead on the Tigers. The Tiger Bats. This is what we waited for, huh? This is what they told us for years. Remember, people used to do that cute little hashtag Detroit Roots because they were doing it the right way, and Alavida was so smart. It just makes me sick to my stomach. But anyway, speaking of making me sick to my stomach, you want to put it up there now? I mean, come on. Do you know what it says? And I made this crack on Facebook. It says Wednesday night, 2-for-1 pizza in happy hour at the softball center. Thursday night doubleheaders, $2 Boombas all night long. It looks like softball guy.
Yeah.
It really does. It looks like softball guy. And again, I know how things are. We established this during the Lions reveal, okay? If you have any play off of Grit or the D or Motor City, you're automatically supposed to be a sheep and just go, "Oh yeah, that is so great, man." Blake is just
I don't think this one's getting as much love as the black jersey was for the Lions that you and I both hated, but it's definitely not great. It's really, like you said, it's a softball jersey, and the script Detroit across the hat, like the Old English D is what, top 5 logo in all of baseball, right?
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
So you get rid of that. Even if it spelled out Detroit and it had the Old English D, then it would be okay. But the whole thing, it's just like this weird font. It's not great.
I just don't like it. And I'm sorry, I have been saying this for years, okay? This town has a really weird fixation on bad to mediocre players. And I don't get it, and I'll never get it. And I get it that there are a lot of people that have kind of quote unquote turned on Javi, but Javi is still like a quote fan favorite for a lot of people. I mean, Blake, you know I'm right, and it's frightening. Like, couldn't you? How about Tarek Skubal? Okay, there's a legitimate name that we heard about for years that is actually saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm worth all the hype and then some."
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Don't you think the Javi thing though is just like wishful thinking? Because like peak Javi was awesome. As a Cubs fan, I know this. Peak Javi was great.
All right, but Tiger fans have absolutely no remembrance of that. None.
No.
It's really weird. This one, I agree with you. I'm not hearing many people say I like that. I love what Nick said. Only thing missing is an Easton missile launcher bat. That is so spot on. Oh, it's that is just that spot on. I love that. It does. It looks like softball guy, man.
Yeah. And the tire tracks, and I get it. It's an alternate. Like they're not going to, what will they wear it like what, once a month maybe?
What is it?
Probably.
City Connect or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
City Connect.
I don't think that there's been one good City Connect uniform. Actually, now that I say that, there's one that I liked.
Who?
The Angels.
I don't remember.
It wasn't like a huge change. It was like a surfboard. That was like the thing was like it was a surfboard theme, and they did the number on the side with like the oval around it, so it looked like a surfboard, but it wasn't like anything crazy. And the hat was like basically the same hat. It was just like red with the front two blocks white, and then the Angels logo.
Did it have like Brad Osmus' dreamy face on there? That would have made it even better to like just have him.
That was on the
standing
inside of the butt
with
crack of the
surfboard.
pants.
Jeez, oh Pete. David said horrible beyond horrible. Yeah, these aren't getting a lot of love. There's no other way to say that. These aren't getting a lot of love.
I still don't think they're the worst City Connect ones. The absolute worst ones are the Boston Bruins. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
They were themed for the marathon.
Yeah.
They were yellow and blue.
Some
Brutal.
of those third jerseys that came out like in the 90s, like the LA Kings had a deck of cards. It was terrible.
Those.
It was just terrible.
Didn't they just reverse retro those like last year or something?
I don't know what all those terms are that you kids use.
What the reverse retro for the NHL was. The Habs had the
blue,
yeah,
that they constantly lost in, over and over lost in that jersey. Like I'm not being funny.
I'm just saying, as an outsider though, I liked the jersey.
Did
like
you
the
really?
look of it? The look of it, I liked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric asked, "Did you watch any of the roast of Tom Brady?"
I watched the whole thing.
Did you? Did you enjoy it?
It was very funny.
Yeah.
Actually, like it's 3 hours long. First of all, so you have to strap in for a time. But yes, I really did enjoy it. It's actually very funny. Like it's old school comedy funny.
Now, can I is this something like can I pull up now? Like if I want
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Like let's just say there wasn't hockey on. Like could I pull this up when hockey ends like in late June?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Netflix, the whole thing.
Maybe I'll do that. That.
I would highly encourage it. I think it's worth the watch. I really do. It was very funny.
Now, love to get you guys' thoughts. I mean, does anybody like these City Connect things? I just don't like. There's nothing ridiculous. What did our mutual friend Brady Beeden say? He liked the hoodie. He used some hip term. He liked.
Yeah, he
hoodie.
liked the sleeveless hoodie. That's a part of it. But the logo on that is completely different. It's completely different. I'm trying to I'll pull it up real quick.
All right. So, yeah, see if you can find it. I'm just like I'm telling you right now, it does pull the damn picture up again just for a second. Now, I have to remember that I'm not their target audience, okay? I get that. So, like what I did is I asked my 24-year-old son. I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "It's not bad." So, it's not bad means it sucks. He just doesn't want to say it sucks. Does that make sense? That's kind of like the logic that I figured out. He's not going to say it's bad because it's his beloved Tigers. So instead, what he's going to go, it's not bad, which means it sucks. Yeah,
that's the hoodie.
Why is that? What did he say? It was off the hook chain or whatever. He said something like that.
I don't think Brady's ever said anything like that.
Now I gotta look it up because he did say one of those.
He said it was, I think, clean.
Whatever that means. I have no idea what that means. No, I see now I got to look this up because I know he did say something hip.
Short sleeve hoodie kind of goes
hard. Yeah.
That's not how you say it. Just so we're clear.
When I'm walking around in that, around kind of goes hard. Yeah. Give me a break. Jason said, "Old man shelling at clouds again." Chris said, "Hello, fellas."
I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. Jason, seriously. It's bad, right? We're allowed to say that, right? That's bad. It's bad. Yeah. And I don't want to walk around in a hoodie with an erection. Who needs that? I don't need that. Kind of goes hard.
You didn't tell people we're getting loopy Sean tonight 100%.
I don't know, like, honestly, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this right now. I know my brother-in-law can. It has been 3 days of just hellish, and I mean hellish congestion. I mean, all here and my throat like totally closed up, and now it's like behind my ears and everything. So I don't know. I'm trying my hardest not to be goo goo baby. I don't know if it's like something sinusy or if it's like allergies with like all the rain and like all of a sudden like all the green came up like overnight. Is that the one you like? That one?
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Mm.
I'm saying
It's a
it,
yeah. I mean,
it's
comparatively
not bad
speaking,
at all.
you're right.
The
Chris
hat
said,
is very good looking.
Chris said Tigers 6 through 9 are tearing it up. So I did a um a shot with my buddy Jack Ebling in East Lansing today. Give Jack a listen. Jack does a great job. He's one of the finest gentlemen in the business as well. And to your point, Chris, like honestly, when you look at this lineup, on any given night, there's like 4 free outs. Like honestly, that's what this roster is right now. There's like 4 free outs. Like you're gonna take your chances that a guy like Torque with his 211 batting average, you're gonna take a chance that he's gonna be an automatic out. You know, Colt Keith with his $158 is gonna be an out. Parker Meadows has a 96 batting average. 96. 96. Javi Baez, a $182. Carson Kelly, 189. I mean, legitimately on any given night, you are talking about 4 or 5 automatic outs. And this is what we were told. Hashtag Detroit Roots. And you had a front row seat. I was bitching about this 5 years ago, man. 5 years ago. Like saying that this was all chatter. Oh, it drives me out of my mind. Jeez, oh, Pete. I know you don't care.
I literally physically can't even watch a Tigers game. So there's
Literally,
also
physically?
that. I
Literally.
physically cannot watch a Tigers game, which from what it sounds like, I'm not really missing much. So
I think it's going to fall apart soon. It was a cute little start. I think that
but
they
isn't the
have
division bad? Right?
all of a sudden everybody's playing better. The Twins looked like they weren't going to lose forever. They went on, what was it, a 12-game streak, and then they finally lost. Kansas City's all right. Obviously the Guardians are doing all right. So the last couple weeks, you've had the 3 teams go like that, in Detroit, I don't want to say go like this, but start to go like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, look at your favorite name.
There it is. It's funny, he's actually producing in Toledo, which doesn't surprise me because he is like legitimately a 4A player. He is. And
He's just
here's
a
the
French
worst
guy.
the glorification of Akil Badu, I'll never understand. That is one of the great mysteries in life. It really is. But to Chris's point right now, when you look at some of the disasters in this lineup, could he be any worse? Like honestly, could he be any worse right now?
Yeah.
And that's where we're at with this baseball team right now, man. It is.
You know why people like Badu, right?
No,
It's a
enlighten
fun
me,
name to
please.
say.
Is that what it is?
Akil
Really?
Badu is fun to say. That's a
All right,
fact.
if you say so. If you say so.
It's fun to say, and but it's not difficult to say. You know.
All right. If you say so.
Okay.
Tigers losing right now at last check. You guys keep us up abreast of that. Bruins, Florida. I'm looking forward to this series. I think Florida wins, but I'm looking forward to this series. Matt said, "Do you think Badu's highest value for the Tigers is as a trade is as a trade respect producing in AAA versus coming up and struggling at the MLB level?" Hey, Matt, how are you? By the way, Matt, big fan. You know that. He
He's
is
Matt's a
absolutely
very handsome man. Jeez.
very handsome. He is, like, to me, a totally 4A player. He is. I mean, there's a reason why he had that cute, after they picked him up with Rule 5, he had that cute little time with the Tigers. And after that, I think water found its level. And I always say this too, okay, because I know people sometimes don't consider this. Where do you play that guy? Like, really, where do you play Akil Badu? And don't tell me you want to put him in the outfield on an everyday basis. Just don't do that. He just isn't good. And yet people in this town just go crazy about him. I don't get it. Also prospect. Thank you, Matt. Absolutely. That was Brady. There, I called you Brady.
Your brain is mush today.
Well, I'm on those sinus meds right now. I had a couple shots too. But no, listen, Blake, like the last few years with Brandon Inge, that's exactly what it was with Inge. I mean, people were arguing the unarguable. It really was. It was like, there's nothing there. It's over. It's like, it's legitimately over. And then he went to Oakland and he had that one big series, of course, against the Tigers. And everybody's like, see, he's garbage. Matt said, good point. No room in the outfield. He's not. He's a detriment out in the field, and he can't hit. And like I said, I think a lot of people are looking at that span in 2020. You know, when he first came to the Tigers, and that's when people were, whether they want to admit it or not, I don't care, because I argued with so many of you people, whether it be when I was working at TV, when I was at Woodward, whatever the case may be. It was like there was nothing there. It was all this. And everybody wanted to buy in and go, well, he's a Rule 5 guy. It doesn't go, look at a great value. What was great value for like half a year, man? You know?
Makes sense
Chris
to me.
said, just bring him up for a couple weeks. Send Meadows down if he's a 4A player. Then isn't it his role to fill in at points? Like, Chris, like, honestly, I hope you know I'm not arguing with you. Right now, like, how bad could it be? When you look at Parker Meadows, who absolutely, positively looks like he shouldn't be in the majors right now, okay? And you got Colt, which is a huge question, no doubt about that. And you've got Torque, who, guys, I got to be honest with you, what's the real Torque and what isn't? What's the exception to the rule? I'm a big fan of looking at the rule as opposed to the exception. The exception for Spencer Torkelson was going mad hot for a couple months last year. The rule so far is him struggling. Is the truth somewhere in the middle? He's going to heat up, but what does heat up mean? Isn't that another one of those guys we absolutely had to have that guy click?
What is his, like, peak? Like, what can he be? I'm asking you because I have no idea.
I've come to the undeniable conclusion, and I don't know how anybody could argue this right now. I really don't. I think it's a great question, and one that we can ask everybody out there. I've come to the undeniable conclusion that he's just a guy.
After being the number 1 overall pick.
You got it. He's just a guy.
A jag? Really?
I think he's just a guy. Sorry. I mean, what? He's just a guy. Sorry. Nick said, I think the fans just like saying Badu. There you go.
See? This name's fun to say.
Meadows makes Inge look like Al Kaline. Well, there's that too. Mark, Akil Badu is Quentin Berry 2.0. Remember that craze? That was funny. That was another one. This is you get that little, you know how it is with Tiger fans. You get that little hot streak and everybody's going, yeah. This is the new fill in the blank stud. You know, it's crazy. It just is. Torque is Adam LaRoche. That's a good one. I think that's a good one. You know, he's a guy. I'm not saying that, he doesn't have a spot, that he's not a major leaguer. But I mean, really and truly, at this point in time, for you, Blake, or for anybody else, what on earth would possibly make anybody think, with this much time under his belt and the fact that he's going to be, 25 in a couple months, that this kid, any second now, he's going to be the star. He's going to be the number one pick overall that everybody suggested. What on earth would make anybody think that? If you're one of those people that thinks that, you are absolutely positively basing your opinion on hopium. And that's okay. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I would hope that we could come to an agreement that right now he is what he is. Right?
That's a shame. Because, I mean, I feel like he's embraced Detroit well. He seems like he would be a great face of the franchise guy.
He seems like a really wonderful guy,
But if you're saying it's just not clicking, then
it just isn't. It just isn't. I was just looking at Akil Badu's first year, that 2021 that we made reference to, 18 steals. He had a 766 OPS. And we thought that, you thought, a lot of people thought that Al Avila was like a genius for getting this guy, and he's got such an eye for talent. Water finds its level. I mean, I have no other way to say that.
And you can't say the finding talent thing when you got him through not the regular draft, right?
Well, he's because Al's got such a great eye for talent. You know that. Come on, he's got such a great eye for talent. That's I mean, all jokes aside, that's what people say. I mean, let's face it. I think somebody said Torque hit 233 last year. He said 222. It was 233 if I'm not mistaken. The good news for him is he had a 758 OPS, and obviously you got to give him his credit. He caught fire. He had 31 home runs. That makes him a guy as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, it just does.
Like an everyday starter guy.
Just a guy. Just a guy. Brian said, bigger bus, Mize or Torque?
Well, one of them's played, right?
Am I wrong? Because I'm not ready to count out Casey Mize yet, and pitchers are a little different. Am I bad for saying that? I think Torque is what he is. I think he's a major leaguer. He's just not going to be the star that he was drafted to be. I just don't believe that. I think Mize, because of the Tommy John and the flashes, and right now, boy, I think I have to say Torque, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. I really do. I know a lot of people disagree with me, especially considering now Casey Mize is 27? A lot of that's injury, though. Does that make sense, Blake?
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I mean, and it's all where was Mize picked? Was he also the number one overall?
Yeah, I believe he was. Wasn't he? Wasn't Mize number one overall?
Because I mean, that changes it in my brain, my stupid brain. If you're the number one overall pick in the draft, you have to work out, and if you don't, you're the biggest bust ever.
Unfortunately, that was the case. Skydog said, "Cool. Didn't the same guy that ditched JV make Torque the number one pick overall? He sure did." That's what I was screaming at people. It's easy to get the number one pick overall. It is. Anybody can do that. Anybody can get the number one pick overall by sucking. The fact that he was consistently not getting value out of these deals, and in my opinion, kicking the can down the road, because you could say, oh, wait till you see this Blake Majchrzak guy. Wait till you, Brady Beaton. Oh my goodness gracious. You should see this kid at the hot corner down in Erie. Oh, hell, it's the old Milky Waters thing. You can make up names. I just saw this kid named Milky Waters, and I'm telling you, give him a couple of years, man. He is a 6-tool player. 6 tools. What's a 6 tool? I don't know, but he's a 6 tool. And that's what we did. That's what we did. Whether we want to admit it or not, that's what we did in this town. And there were a lot of people that were serving, exactly what the house wanted you to serve. Hey, can you go give this dish to the people? Hashtag Detroit Roots.
That is a corny tagline.
It was awful. All right. So, listen, can I talk to you about Maple Leaf in a second?
Yes,
Can we have a serious?
I'm so
Because
excited.
you were all in on Maple Leaf fun. You were. For people out there that don't know, Blake was all in on Maple Leaf fun.
My
You were.
my tweets. I want all the credit in the world for my
That was
tweets that night.
very respectful. Maple Leaf fun is just great fun. And I confessed yesterday, listen, the playoffs are less without Maple Leaf in them. They are. I still love them. It's still my favorite playoff. But being able to poke fun at Maple Leaf is just, I'm sorry. It's beautiful. It just is. Blake, can I tell all my friends about Wealth Advantage Group?
Yes.
All right. If you are ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than those two handsome guys, the Wealth Advantage Group. They are located in historic downtown Northville and owned by two brothers with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, or already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life and have clients in over 20 different states. Listen, do me a favor. Most importantly, do yourself a favor and call these guys. They've helped me out. They can help you out. The investment world is complex, but if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it's time to reach out to the Handsome Brothers. Call Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574. That's 248-773-8574. Or view their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Blake?
Yes. That's my name.
You were all in on poking fun at Maple Leaf. You were.
Really
And I'm sorry to the Maple Leaf fans out there. I am. I feel sorry for some of you because some of you get it. Some of you get it. Okay? But you were, what is it? I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. But there's something kind of funny about poking fun at that fan base. I'm sorry. And if that makes me a bad human, then so be it. Wouldn't be the first time. What is that right there? What are you putting up right there?
Oh, these are my tweets.
Oh, geez, look at that. Those were all of Blake's tweets. Do you believe in love?
Don't stop believing. Do you believe in magic? And then when Boston scored, it's only make believe. And I was obsessed with this guy. This guy was incredible. I love him.
Yeah. All right, so let me try. We explained how, there's a reason why Maple Leaf has earned this reputation, okay? The problem that I have with Maple Leaf is some, not all, because I talked to some very reasonable Maple Leaf fans. I don't think I'm ever going to call them the Maple Leafs again. I think they're just Maple Leaf because of that guy. There are some very reasonable Maple Leaf fans who get it, who understand why people like me keep poking fun at them. Come up with, I should have patented 1967, bitch. I really should have, okay? And in particular, we have heard about this core four for 5 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've heard about this core four for 5 years now. I'm going to go back to the same thing that we were just talking about with a particular Tiger player. At what point in time in the last 5 years would anybody think that this team is ready to go over the hump? They've won one playoff series. One playoff series, by the way, in the last 20 years. They won a playoff series in 2004, and they won a playoff series last year. So legitimately, by the calendar, one playoff series win in 20 years. Why would anybody believe that this group, come on, boys, let's give it one more kick at the can? It's over. You're gonna have to tear these boys apart now, you know?
You know who's played more June playoff games than the Toronto Maple Leafs? The Maple Leafs. It's like all teams but like 4.
Matt said, I heard today that if the Leafs don't win a cup before 2030, they'll have their name removed from Lord Stanley and will be the only original 6 not engraved. Do you know if that's true? Well, what happens after a period of years, okay? What happens after a period of years is they take one ring off, right? They take one of the rings off to put a new ring on. And since they haven't won since 1967, when they put the new band on with the teams that won it in the last 15 years or whatever, you have to take that other band off. And if you follow the logic with what Matt just said, if you follow the logic, even though the Habs haven't won in 31 years, that's only 31 years, okay? Even though Edmonton hasn't won in 34 years, that's only 34 years, right? Calgary, 35 years. Now, obviously, they're not original 6, but think about the original 6. The Red Wings, 2008. The Hawks had their success multiple times. The Rangers in 1994. So this is a situation, I mean, think about it. Where? Who? Yeah. That's the crazy thing about it, is when they take those rings off, that would mean to put the new ring on, Maple Leafs aren't involved in that. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? Jeez, oh Pete, man. It's absolutely crazy.
It's
I mean,
sad.
even the Rangers, who had the 54-year curse and 1940, people chanting 1940. You know, I think the
Bitch.
people old enough like me will remember that 1940. It was everywhere, right? And then they finally won. And I remember their play-by-play guy was screaming, "No more 1940! No more 1940!" Well, he was right. You couldn't chant it anymore. And that was 54 years, man. And now Maple Leaf is at 57 years. Jason said they are 5 seed in the East. Leaf fans are crazy. They bring it upon themselves, man. They just do. And
But like we talked about the other, like it's gonna be so hard. I know that they're gonna have to blow it up and they're gonna have to make changes, but like, what do you
Mitch Marner
decide?
has to go. Mitch Marner has to go. And I said it even before his gaffe in Game 7. I mean, he has to go. He is full canine. He really.
Wall getting hurt though with like
Oh, it's
0.1.
huge. It's
But
huge.
that is the most Maple Leaf thing.
It is. It is. Like Jason just said, the Bill Barocco curse. I don't know.
So who do you like in the East?
I like Willie Nylander. I think Willie Nylander.
No. I mean, now looking forward in the East, who do you like?
All right. So at the beginning of the year, you have no reason to remember this. I said Colorado and Florida.
Yes.
I said Colorado and Florida at the beginning of the year. I still like Florida in the East. I do. I told you Aaron Ward is like all about the Rangers right now. So I have a little wager with that. But I don't feel good about Colorado. I liked how Colorado found themselves in that series against Winnipeg because, I mean, the defense really the first couple games in the first period of game 3, they looked clueless, and you have to give them credit. They battened down the hatches after that, and they ended up smoking the Jets. I have told Mike, if you watch What the Puck, by the way, check us out Wednesday night. I
usually
have
miss
told
that show for some reason.
what's that?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I was trolling you. I said I usually miss that show, but I'm not. I don't because I'm here running it.
I have told, then you know this, I've told Mike for like a month now, and this is before they even went all the way to the number 1 seed. I thought that people were sleeping on the Dallas Stars, and I was one of them. It seemed like everybody, the cute chic pick was taking Vegas, and I Dallas wore them out, man. I mean, really, they wore them out. So, do I think Dallas can go all the way? Do I think that Dallas can go all the way? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, they got a goaltender that can win hockey games. He can go out and win hockey games, and that counts for something this time of year.
So you think Dallas, Edmonton?
I am in the gross minority, and I know I'm going to piss off my buddy Mike. Sorry, Mike. I think Vancouver's going to win that series.
Isn't their goalie out though? Still?
Well, they're working on their 17th. I think it's their 17th backup. I think that's. I really do. I think Vancouver's going to win that series. I do.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of faith in Skinner. I don't have a lot of faith in Edmonton's defense core as a whole. I mean, there are a couple pieces that I like, but as a whole, I think they give up far too many chances. And I don't think that Skinner's the guy. I just don't. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Vancouver won that series. So, I mean, on the basis of elimination, it's going to make things really interesting out west. Maybe Colorado does end up going back there. Mike has stayed by them all year, even when they were going like this, floundering a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Jason says, Sean or the Maple Leaf can always visit that ring that gets removed right there in the vault in their town. Absolutely. It's in the town. Eric said, what hat is that? Livonia Stevenson. Ray said Vegas shows you just can't add players who were hurt all year and they thought they could get right in the playoffs. And here's a funny thing, Ray, I don't have a problem with that. If that's in the rules, you didn't break any rule. Sorry. I don't have a problem with that, right? But to your point, I think that they thought that they were being really cute. Look at even my daughter's jumping in there. See what Lauren said? Maple Leaf. Hi, Maple Leaf. Nick said, I sound like a homer, but it's true. The NHL playoffs better with the Wings in the playoffs. Absolutely. I don't care what anybody says. I think there's something about those original 6 teams. There really is. I have a soft spot in my heart for seeing some of the Western Canada teams too, because that was cool for me, Blake, growing up is my dad telling me to go to bed. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to bed. And then I'd sneak in the room and, turn on the TV with no volume and watch that West Coast game. And then my dad couldn't figure out why I was so groggy in the morning. Come on. Seriously. I mean, that was great.
The cop knew.
Well, it's because he caught me the one time. So, yeah. but I seriously, I did it for years. That was something I really and truly did for years. Let me take a second and tell you about our friends at Legacy. Did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Some of you have as well. I've heard from you and I've heard from them. Why haven't you made the call yet? Because our friends at Legacy are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. I mean, the reality is there is absolutely no reason for you guys not to reach out. Get your quote, because Legacy has helped many people out there by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get the right coverage put in place to properly protect you. And oh yeah, help save some money. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're paying too much and could be underinsured. Enter Legacy Partners. What are you waiting for? Get your quote. Do what so many other people have done. You're helping us. Most importantly, you're helping you. And they can help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, business insurance needs. Call them today. Got that pen? 586-209-4106. That's 586-209-4106. Or visit legacypartnersins.com and get started with your new quotes. All right? Good times.
Hey, real quick, they don't
Yeah.
need a pen. It's literally on the screen. Okay.
I guess they could, if they want to pause the screen, they could go, okay, it's paused. And then
Or if they're going back and watching it, hopefully everyone's watching our videos multiple times through.
I hope so. It's growing. Thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And the funny thing is, Blake and I always talk about this. We're always up for suggestions, like what you guys like to hear. Like seriously, what you guys want to talk about? We're always up for suggestions. We have another special WDFN show coming up this week. I don't want to say who it is just yet, but I think you'll enjoy it. All right.
I'm excited. The first one was great.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
No, I'm not even. It was when I was going back through it, like after the fact, I was like, it was just awesome.
What year were you born? Will you make me feel old? What year were you born?
93.
Gosh,
I think I've told you this before. I didn't get into radio until after that station was gone. So I never heard you on the fan. I only know you from...
what? It was a special time. There's no other way to say it. It was a special time. And the one thing that I said to Henson, Greg Henson was our guest. When I was at Fox with Jamie and Wojo, they were over at The Ticket, and I was at WJR. The one thing that we would always talk about is we didn't know how good we had it at the fan. We really didn't. We didn't know,
Yeah.
because you're living it at the time, and you didn't realize how good you had it. It was, man, it was a special time. It really was. And some of my most fun in the business, to be sure. But radio's different now. There's no doubt about that. Ray said the special teams will decide both Western Conference matchups, and the East will come down to goalies. I'm not as high on the Rangers as everybody else is. I'm going to say the same. I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina won that series. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Carolina won that series. And I'm not exactly high in Carolina's goaltending either. So that'll be interesting. Adam says Wall was the hottest goalie. Damn it. That's what sucks. I mean, Blake, like you said, it was very Maple Leaf. It was no other way to say it. It was very Maple Leaf. It was, as Jason said, when Samsonov was announced for Game 7, Leafs were cooked.
But he played it was not his fault either. He played well.
I don't know.
Did he not?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I try not to argue with people on social media anymore.
It's so much fun though. I wish people would argue with me more.
I miss it, but the people that were trying to excuse away the trifecta of terror on that overtime winning goal, I wish you could pull up the video. I don't know if we're allowed to, so I don't want to get you in trouble. But on that play, okay, what Mitch Marner did is unforgivable. It is unforgivable. I'm sorry. It's just unforgivable. And that's why I said he was a canine. He was watching traffic. You know how dogs get get hypnotized? He was just watching traffic. Pasta even had to make a jut outside to stay onside before he turned on the jets. And Marner just lets him blow by. Riley's late getting over. Willie Nylander, I don't think he had the time or space to get there, but it's a bad look watching him float back into the zone just the same. It's optics. I don't think he had a play on it from where he was. Pasta going full speed and Willie Nylander, 5-8 feet over the line. And then Ilya probably should have come out and at least attempted to poke check it away. It was the trifecta of terror. And
I'm just saying for the whole game.
That's how you lose games.
The whole game, though, he played well.
He did. Both those guys did.
It was that loss was not his fault.
Yeah. I like what Adam said. Samsonov was adequate, but won't ever steal a series. That's absolutely fair. I think that's a fair. That's not. Hey, we've got Ilya. You know what I mean? Said nobody. Ray said, I miss your sports trivia. I used to call every week and I won a few times. Actually sat next to you at one of the Tiger games I won. Cheese toast. Yeah, that was Ray said they mentioned on Sportsnet that was a planned play that Boston does. It was definitely a set play, but you know how you defeat a set play? Put a body in front of a guy. Like if Mitch Marner did anything, that goal doesn't happen. I mean, seriously, I want you to think about that. If he impedes Pasta in any way, shape, or form, okay, just gets in front of him, steers him outside, does anything, that play doesn't happen. Forget about marking his man. Oh, God forbid in overtime of Game 7. Why the hell would you even want to mark a guy? If he does anything, that goal doesn't happen. So I heard a lot of people, yes, it's a set play. There's no doubt about that, and it was well designed. But you know how you stop a set play? Pick up your check. Mark your guy. You know what I mean? Jeez, oh, Pete.
Would the Wings have put up a better fight against the Rangers than Washington
What's that?
Would the Wings have put up a better fight against the Rangers than Washington did?
I think so. I do.
I wish
because I think Alexander Ovechkin showed everybody that the only reason he's playing hockey right now is to pass Wayne Gretzky. To say that he was disinterested in that series would be a gross understatement. He was disinterested. I think that's the only reason he's playing hockey right now. And I still don't think he's going to get there. For the record, Blake, I don't. I still don't think he's going to get there. Mark said Oilers, Canes Cup. Edmonton has easier second round. Dallas, Colorado beat each other up. Carolina has more depth than anyone in the East. Primed to cash in on the past few years of playoff experience. Rematch of the 06 finals. That was a great final, by the way. Were you old enough to remember that, Blake, old boy?
Not really. I was 12, 13. But I hadn't fallen in love with sports yet. I was a late bloomer. I think we've talked about this.
That was a great final, and I actually got to go to a couple Stanley Cup parties that year, which was really cool. You know, some guys and this is long before I worked for Carolina, but a couple local guys with Carolina connections, and I was able to go to a couple Stanley Cup parties, so that was pretty cool.
You're gonna watch the NBA game tonight?
No,
I am.
Are you really? Do you want me to lie to you? Yeah, I never miss an NBA game.
Well, we talked about this already. I know that. I'm just Anthony Edwards is actually awesome.
Okay.
He is. I'm telling you, will you, for your friend Blake, a night that there's not a late night NHL game, tune into one of the games between Denver and Minnesota?
You know what? I'll do it tonight.
Wow.
Who do you want me to look at? Edwards Anthony?
Anthony Edwards, yeah. He's awesome.
All right. I'll do that tonight, as long as the game doesn't go to overtime. Bruins Panthers, no score after one. Eric said prick 3. You guys, did you ever hear about prick 3? No. Blake?
Sounds like a good bit, though. Is it a bit?
We had a game called Pick 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would say, hey, if you win at Pick 3, we'll give you Tiger tickets, or we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And so eventually by the end of the show, and somebody made, a reference to cheese toast, if somebody wasn't, we had to give the tickets away. I'd go name one ingredient in cheese toast. Cheese. Hey, congratulations, you won. But there were some days where you weren't going to win. I was in a bad mood, and we would play Prick 3 instead of Pick 3. I'll let you figure out what that meant. And I would tell people beforehand, don't call in. You're not going to win. And nobody ever got a question right, let alone 3 questions right. Never happened. But people always tried to call in, and
you were being mean on the radio.
What's that?
You were being mean on the radio.
Well, I'm a mean person, as you know. I'm just a mean person.
I only think that sometimes.
Ray said, can you guys put a finger on the ratings for the NBA and NHL? 2 million is now a good number. It's crazy. Have you looked at those numbers? Is that
They have not come across my timeline.
yeah? Ray WNBA got 100,000 views on the WNBA app. Really? Huh?
That's Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Right.
she's huge.
Yeah.
She's huge. I don't think people understand how much people either love or hate her. Like honestly. And both of those things are going to make people tune in. Like, but I think it's cool. I really do.
Chris said Sean would go full out sports nerddom. Yeah, I remember the one. I was like, name 3 members of the Ottawa Silver Seven. First of all, what are the Ottawa Silver Seven to most people, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying name 1. I said you had to name 3. And then you know what? When they didn't get it, they would immediately, get a parting gift just the same. I'd give them dial tone. Well, thanks for calling in, and they'd get dial tone. So they can't say I didn't give them anything, right?
Yeah.
Jason said Blake wants Shauner to watch Anthony Edwards. Shauner watched him play Goose in Top Gun. Was that his name, Jason? That's funny. Blake, anything else? I know I have a couple reads to do before we get out of here, but anything tickling your fancy? Because I'm going to turn this down so I can blow my nose. Seriously, are any of you dying with the allergies? This is unbelievable. 3 days from me. Google baby.
What kind of meds are you on? That's what I need to know. And as Sean's doing his thing, I'm a Claritin D guy, always.
I went and picked up the maximum strength Mucinex today that I'm not joking costs like $28. I'm not joking. It costs $28 because this has been miserable for 2 days. Like I'm not even being funny. Miserable. And you know the routine where it's not like you're sick, but you're just like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I'm in bed. No, it's just it's miserable. Matt said, "Great show, guys. Glad I caught it and was able to tune in." Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. And best of luck to you, my friend, as well. Just kind of like a dull headache, and my throat's poopy. You know what I mean? Nick said every morning I'm popping Zyrtex for allergies. Yep. Ray said Sean is in a man cave. Blake looks like he's in his living room.
I'm not in my living room. I'm in my second bedroom.
His loving room. He's in his loving room. It's where the love comes. Skydog said it's got to be the big Q. Listen, I'm overdue for a barbecue. It's actually been a couple days. Tom said the allergies are awful this year. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Because I was sitting there literally thinking to myself, I got leprosy or something. Like I haven't been congested like forever. I don't know how leprosy and congestion go hand in hand, but I was telling myself, all right, that's it. I got leprosy. I mean, no doubt about it. Anything tickle your fancy before we get out of here? I still have to tell people about Lindsay Broadwell and Batch Brewing as well, though, Blake.
Go for it. I'm here. I'm in.
Okay. Anything on your mind, son?
No, you didn't see the Brady thing. So I can't really talk to you about it because you haven't seen it.
I saw enough of the clips. I mean, all those clips were out there. People,
I thought it was really funny, like genuinely. Like I said, it was like old school comedy. Like there was nothing being held back whatsoever. I thought
I like roasts. I do. I like roasts.
I do too. I thought
I like a good pot roast, but you gotta smoke the pot roast long enough.
Talk about Lindsay Broadwell.
Beef short ribs. Listen, it is a high-end pot roast. Hey, when it comes time to sell your house, whether you're buying, selling, or you're going to put multiple smokers in your backyard, you need to contact the right agent. There she is, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. And when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyers, seller, first-time buyers, doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She will help you with everything from start to finish. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. I wanted to tell you,
What?
Dave Reader, looking forward to a Sean roast. David, if you have anything mean to say about me, my heart would break. I have been nothing but nice to you in your life, young man.
I love David. Just so we're clear, I love David.
I have shown support for him more than anybody, and you know that to be true.
I do. I have the receipt. That's true.
Can I tell you what I saw today? And I kind of got a little chubby, and I know you'll appreciate.
Yeah.
Phil Steele was sending out tweets thanking college football coaches for their time as he's preparing his college football preview magazine.
I watched 2 nights ago on YouTube the best upsets of the 2023-2024 season. And I forgot how great of a game Alabama-Texas was. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it really was.
That was such a sick game. And now we get that like all the time with the new SEC.
Yep. The new SEC is going to be so much fun. It is.
The new Big Ten is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Oregon, USC.
I'm going to make a couple trips this year. Maybe you and I can actually go see a game sometime, Slugger.
Yeah.
Huh? Would you like that? Would you like that?
Well, you know the trip we were planning last year that we didn't get to make. We got to go.
Do you have any idea why that didn't happen? You want to say it, or do you want me to say it?
The Glass Bowl?
No. Remember we were supposed to go to Florida. Remember we were talking about going to Florida?
No, I was talking about the Glass Bowl trip. No. I was talking about going to the Glass Bowl.
I would love to go to the Glass Bowl.
We were going to go to a Maction game. Like a weeknight game.
Loved it. It's a great play. Dave, thank you. Feel better, my friend. I just want to get the congestion out. You know what I mean? Just big goo-goo baby. Can we talk about Batch before we get out of here? Batch is a great spot. If you're going down to a Tiger game, if you're going down for one of the many events, it's such a busy summertime. So many things going on in the D. Why don't you make Batch your spot? We've made it our spot. Official craft beer of this, I don't know, do we call it show? 7 days a week. You can smell the smoker from about a half mile away. Some great food. Might I suggest, seriously, the jerk chicken sausage. You will thank me for it. Make sure you check them out. batchbrewingcompany.com, 1400 Porter Street. I have a feeling we may be doing some stuff there over the summer again, and we'd love to see you out there. Blake, it really is a cool vibe down there. You've been there a couple times. One time when it was very cold, another time when it was a little warmer. I want to get out there when it's really, really warm. That's what I want. I want to get out there.
When we were there last time, I tried the Low Boy, which is their low-calorie West Coast IPA. And I'm not joking. I think it's my favorite beer I've ever had.
That a boy.
It was so good. I had 2 of them, and I was like, if I keep going, this is going to get dangerous. So I stopped myself at 2, but it was legitimately the best beer I've ever had. I loved it.
Listen, our buddy Rieger has to join us for an NFL preview. He was just very nice. He said, Blake is the man. His analysis is second to none. I want to have our buddy Dave to do an NFL preview so everybody can see what a Bronco fan he is. Like when he pulls out the horse's head, the mascot's head, Miles, and I'm not joking. He gets so excited. He will get on his hind legs. For just a second, he turns into Miles, and he'll go. He gets so excited. You need to see it. If I can get that on here, on this video, you guys all need to see that. Thank you, Eric.
No,
it's amazing.
I talked to Dave about this though. He said he is 100% in for a Broncos preview. And then Ronnie said he will do a Pittsburgh Steelers preview with us. So we have our summer content laid out, ladies and
It'll be
gentlemen.
fun.
Those are 2
Skydog
episodes.
said opening day Lions. We'll figure something out. I'm going to tell you guys something, though. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again, okay? And I hope you guys don't hate me for this, all right? Blake, you and I experienced this together. I do not like going to games anymore. I don't like it. Sorry. I just don't. I think especially you have to remember, for those of you that have followed me for a long time, my entire Sunday was at Ford Field. I would go down there and do the TV show, whether it be at Shelley's or on the field at Ford Field. Then I would race up to sometimes do a pregame show on radio, sometimes not. Then I would, after the game, I would do a post-game show for a couple different radio stations. And then more often than not, I would head back to Fox and do like the television thing at night. Blake, that was no way to live my life. Like being gone all Sunday, like having my kids in their mind, Thanksgiving was dad coming home at 6:45 at night. I don't miss it. I don't. Skydog said at Blake's. You guys can come over here, or we could go down to Batch, but I don't like going to games anymore. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't. Ray said NFL games are the worst live of the 4 major sports. Before we get out of here, your thoughts on that, Blake?
I would actually 100% agree. For me to go to a game, my number 1 is actually baseball, which is the sport I follow the least. I think going to games is a great experience. I can't, Dave in the chat. Baseball, hockey. If it's a college basketball game, I like, you will never see me at an NBA game ever, unless I'm getting like free courtside tickets. You will never see me at an NBA game, legitimately.
Sure.
So I don't even rank that. So, yeah.
Rieger,
how do you think
what happens when I'm nice to Sean? I wasn't mean to you. I'm saying you're the Broncos' #1 fan. You got the horse's head. You go, you know, you pretend you're galloping in a corral. Eric, thank you. I feel fine.
I want
the congestion gone.
How do you think he feels about parrots?
I think he likes parrots. Do you, Rieger? Parrots? Yay or nay? Skydog, I have never had drinks at a game. I don't understand it. I want my wits. I'm a fan. I'm serious. I don't. I'll have a beer. Like I went with my boy Teddy to the Wings game a couple weeks back. I had a beer, 1. Like I'll have a beer, but like the people that let's tailgate, I don't want anything to do with it. Rieger said we're both evil. Jeez, you never win with Rieger.
I just want
I stand in solidarity with you, Rieger, and that's all I'm going to say. We got to get out of here. All right, I'm going to go piss my pants, and I'm going to blow snot out of my eyeballs. Blake, when do you want to talk again? Let's do it tomorrow. You doing anything tomorrow?
I'm actually very busy tomorrow. Can we not do it tomorrow?
Always something with you. Bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.